only in life that you are educated. In death is an end point. So even in heaven they behold and they are still crying, they are still shouting, holy, holy. Why? Because they see another apocalypse again. And that is to let you understand that for you to begin to continually enjoy the benefit and the beauty of God, you must journey to the economy of life. Do not be excited that you live within death and you are enjoying. No. You don't even have a place. Because the true test of your ordination and the true potency of that calling cannot be exercised in death. There is nothing you can do in death. The Bible said, in the flesh, it profit death. Only in the spirit you get life. So what we call the life of God is actually hidden in the spirit of God. And if I take you further, you are going to realize something. That sincerely speaking, what you call death is different from what we call death. What Jesus Christ went through was not death as a spirit. He went through death as a process. Many of you never pay attention. There is death that ends with TH. There is death that ends with D. Death that ends with DH is a spirit. You have no business with it. That's what the Bible is talking about here. Death that ends with D is part of your lot and portion in order to carry glory. And that is actually the gateway to enter into life. Because if Jesus Christ himself cannot leave heaven and come with his own kind of life, in the earth, for you to partake through the economy of life, you must first of all die through the life that was put inside of you. Because by default, as you gain awareness, you partake of the Adamic nature. The only way that dies is immediately when you allow death as a process walk through you. And immediately when death as a process walk through you, the next thing is the economy of life. No wonder you will wander for so long and live your life and never know you are a prophet until one day you wake up a day and your eyes are open. What happened? Now that you give your life to Christ and you begin to remain within the altar of incense and it begins to burn you, you now realize that there are so many layers that resist and limit the outflow of these possibilities in God. And immediately when that cracks open, you now realize your eyes can see. In the book of Ezekiel chapter 2 verse 2, you see, when he yet speak unto me, the spirit enters me and set me upon my feet. So Ezekiel was not a prophet because he went to a prophetic school. Ezekiel became a prophet because a spirit enters inside of him. That means it's possible for you to be in the economy of death for so long, and one day you appear in Ebenezer, and as you are here, a weak and feeble person, a spirit can enter you and wake up and suddenly. Many of you do not know that the true potency of your call can only be fueled by an economy of the spirit. Whether you like it or not, many of the communications of God are guided through an utterance, and until you are given utterance, you cannot utter the word of the spirit. And if utterance is being made available to a goat, he can preach more than you. If utterance is being made available to a chicken, he can speak the counsel of God more than you. So all of us must be able to press into the windows of heaven to gain access into the element in keeping to our core, so that by the time we stand, we pipe open the windows of heaven so that inspiration can be able to be printed upon us. Imagine Job had so many friends, very wise friends. In fact, according to their resume, they were the wisest in their different cadres. So the person you felt was the wisest person in Jos is actually the most foolish person. Because the wisest men that Job actually had came to him, and when they gathered, they began to conduct a diagnosis to his situation, and none of them could utter the right counsel of God. And one that carried his spiritual son, Elihu, came with him. And when Elihu came, as he was there, an inspiration breathed upon him, and for the first time, his spiritual son can be right against his father. And it became a thing of contention. So what became the difference? The difference is one was granted utterance, and the rest we are blinded. So that is to let us understand that as I'm standing here, it's possible that God can decide to blind me and I will see nothing. So it is not the first time it happened. There was a time when the prophet gathered before a king, and all of them came and collected something. When Jehoshaphat wanted to go for war, they consulted all the prophets. They had all the money, had all the resources. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you can hear the counsel of God. You can fall a victim of falsehood and deception. The woman with the issue of blood has so much money, she traveled everywhere. When the money finished, she realized the weakness and the potency of money, how valuable it is. There are things money cannot solve, my friends. At that point, you now understand the economy of this life we are talking about. Because at that point, she now realized she needed life beyond what money can buy. Because if there's one thing that money cannot buy, my friends, it's life. Because that one now is a journey through death. And the prophet came and all of them spoke. And to their best of their ability and knowledge, they felt they were speaking the counsel of God. And one came and spoke an utterance. And it was evident that he stood within a place. This one had the access to the life of resurrection. And as he began to speak, his counsel was different from the many. He was not too popular. Because if he was popular as that, he would have actually been part of the elite. And so one slapped him and said, when did God leave me to speak? So among the mighty men in the land, he was not one. He was an upcoming minister. And because he was an upcoming minister, the people that felt they had the stature, they felt that God should communicate through them. But utterance has nothing to do with stature. Utterance has everything to do with Ebenezer, the stone of help. When God decides to help a 5-year-old child, he will speak the counsel of God. And out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, elders with gray hair have to gather to hear strength. And so at that day, even a man with gray hair like Job had to receive counsel from Elihu, a child that was not supposed to partake of that economy. And it's that his counsel that gave Job the privilege to be able to stand a little while.